Toyota scaled globally without collapsing into chaos. Most companies do not. Growth usually creates friction, more layers, more coordination, more fragility. Success begins damaging the system that created it. Toyota solved this differently. They did not scale effort, they scaled structure. Their system was designed to absorb pressure instead of breaking under it. Most organizations mistake complexity for capability. As pressure rises, they add meetings, approvals, and management layers. The system grows heavier, not stronger. Then, effort becomes the compensation mechanism. Longer hours, constant firefighting, repeated reorganization. The real flaw stays untouched. They optimize output while ignoring the structure producing it. That is why growth starts creating instability. The failure to absorb growth is where most people freeze. But at Solver's Studio, we go to our toolkit, the Solver's 6. The tool is systems thinking execution. Systems thinking shifts focus from isolated tasks to the structure connecting them. We stop asking, how do we work harder? We ask, what system keeps recreating this friction? Execution turns that insight into enforced operational rules. The goal is not high output alone, it is stable output under pressure. First, define the system boundary. What exactly is the system? For Toyota, it was not just manufacturing. It was hiring, training, supply chains, quality control, feedback loops. Without a clear boundary, failure points stay invisible. The system must be defined precisely before it can be stabilized. Next, identify the leverage points. Not every action changes the system equally. Toyota understood this clearly. The leverage point was not speed, it was quality correction at the source. That is why any worker could stop the production line using the andon cord. One small interruption prevented massive downstream failure. Quality became a structural rule, not a final inspection task. Finally, recalibrate the system with new rules. Toyota made growth conditional on stability. Expansion could continue only if quality stayed intact. That changes the behavior of the entire organization. Growth stops being reckless acceleration. It becomes controlled scale. The system reorganizes around resilience instead of urgency. Systems thinking execution stabilizes growth structurally. First, define the system boundary. Second, identify the leverage points. Third, enforce new rules around stability. Do not optimize chaos. Redesign the structure producing it. The same principle applies to personal performance. A high-performing professional often builds routines that work only during calm periods. Then pressure rises, the routine collapses. The flaw is structural. They define the boundary of their operational capacity, then identify a leverage point, maybe deep work. So they create a non-negotiable block that cannot be moved. One protected constraint reorganizes the entire schedule around stability. Small rule, massive systemic effect. Most collapse begins long before the visible failure. It begins in systems built for effort instead of resilience. Structure determines whether growth becomes momentum or chaos. When the system is stable, pressure stops being destructive. It becomes fuel.